702 Finance Feature.
10 minutes to 2 o'clock, and we walk into the finance feature for today to talk about navigating financial infidelity. Don't worry if you don't know what that is. We're going to tell you all about it. 011-883-0702, the WhatsApp line 072-702-1702. And we're joined by independent financial advisor, educator, and speaker, Daddy Shabalala. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Daddy, before you tell me about financial infidelity, in your home, do you speak about money problems, as that's what we've been chatting about?
Yes, we speak about it very clearly. My wife is into banking. I'm a financial advisor, so money is it's an easy subject for us to discuss.
Okay, so Daddy, what is financial infidelity?
So most people identify with it in terms of hiding money and hiding debts and loans, secretly saving money or giving money away that your partner doesn't want. And it's basically not disclosing the full financial aspect of your life to your partner.
You know what I initially thought financial infidelity is? I thought initially that maybe it's your partner like giving people, like giving your man giving woman money. Like that type of dynamic. That's what I thought
Right.
it was.
No,
It's
deeper
like,
than that.
yes, okay. And the way you explain it makes sense because maybe we don't talk about it so much. And maybe the term was coined recently, in recent times, when women started to be financial contributors, because there was a time where if as a woman you aren't working and you can't have your own bank account, why would there be financial infidelity when, it was not likely that the husband was sharing all the details openly with the wife? There are some households where that did happen, though.
Yes, correct. And also, it talks about the issue of trust between the two people in the relationship, So if the trust is not there to fully disclose where you stand financially, it makes it very, very hard for you to have that conversation. And just to piggyback from your other conversation earlier on, where you were talking about the kids and finances and how do you help the kids understand finances, that builds up manuscripts as you grow up as an adult. So those manuscripts that you pick up from being a child, that comes into your relationship when you are grown up as an adult, So when someone tells you that money doesn't grow on trees, and that's the manuscript that you have, that's how you're going to show up in your relationship and hide money.
And the relationship, your relationship with finances, rather. So maybe help us then understand, in Tate Shabalala, that what is the boundary? Let's talk the ideal scenario of couple dynamics. Let's assume it's a healthy couple. It's irrelevant who has more money or not, because what we're speaking about has nothing to do with those power dynamics, but more to do with how money is communicated, if I understand, and not just how we speak about money, but how we agree on what we're doing with the money of the household.
Yes, that's a very good question. So the most important thing here is to be able to be vulnerable. As you said here, we're talking about an ideal couple where everything is fine, doesn't matter who earns more money. So it's about being vulnerable to expose your finances, to say that, yes, I make so much money, I've got 1,000 rands, but of this 1,000 rands, I actually have responsibilities back at home where someone paid for my education, and now it's my turn to help the other family members also go through education. So from this 1,000 rands, I can only contribute 500 to the household. It's those type of discussions that you need to have with your partner. They might be hard, they might be very difficult, but it's about opening up and being vulnerable and sharing full transparency. That's what vulnerability is, showing up naked about your finances to say, this is where I am, this is what I have, and this is where we stand. It's full transparency to say, this is how much money I've spent, this is where we are, and this is where we want us to go to, and this is how I think we're going to get there.
You know, I'm so glad you said the full transparency because it's also the disclosing part. So, for example, let's assume in this hypothetical, in inverted commas, healthy relationship, I know you earn 50,000. You know I earn 50,000. We've agreed that this pool goes to the household. You have a bigger family. You send 2,000 rand home, and I have a smaller family. I send 500 rand home. We're aligned. But then comes bonus time where now you're not telling me gore o thotse bonus. You are quiet. But then when I visit there by the in-laws, there's this new built thing, and the mother-in-law says, "How I carry your husband built for us."
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's the infidelity.
that's the infidelity. I mean, think of infidelity as having a side chick in the relationship. I mean,
Yo,
that's what you're technically doing. You are basically having an affair with your money on the side.
and being dishonest as well. So when in your view, and maybe you can speak from your own personal experience, being with a person who also is in the financial space, what is your philosophy when it comes? Is it always let's discuss first and decide, and then the big one is um, in the infidelity part of the conversation? I know there's some couples who'll say this is our household expenses, so we have one account where all the household expenses get debited from. What's left over is your own money. Do what you want. So I'm assuming the infidelity would apply to what happens in the household expenses.
It applies to everything, I think.
Mm,
It's about that full disclosure. So, as you said, I must talk to you from my personal financial experience. So, when COVID happened, I didn't have any income coming in for about 7 months.
mm,
And that was very hard on my wife and children.
yes.
And I needed to pivot from that. You know, we had to have those hard discussions to say, I no longer bring in the bacon. What are we going to do? You know, so
Mm.
it's about that discussion and being open about it, and also having the space to be able to be free to talk about that. You know, the security to know that you're not going to get in trouble, or well, when you are vulnerable, people are going to use that against you. You know, and
Mm.
weaponize it. If my wife is going to go and talk to people and say, this one, he doesn't have money, obviously I would not be disclosing that in the future. You know, so it's about the not just one aspect of emotional safety, but all around it as well.
What
So
is
you don't want people to weaponize it against you.
Yes, because obviously, I mean, I had a caller a few years back who shared that he had lost his job and then didn't tell the wife. He still kept pretending like he's going to work when they were retrenching people. And 6 months later, the funds finished. And the way he found out, because he was hopeful something was going to come, he didn't want her stressed, was when their medical aid did not pay and their child had a life threatening illness. And I think what you're saying
Mm.
about the vulnerability, it also requires that the dynamics and the relationship are such that you're confident that your partner is not going to shame you for not making an income.
Exactly, exactly. So it's also very important to understand that money isn't just numbers. It's highly, highly emotional, and it represents security, freedom, and love. You know, so it's not just about the money; it's about security. So if there's issues around the security and the money disclosures and stuff like that, people will not feel safe in that relationship when money is not clear.
Can I tell you where I think problems are with honesty of conversations around money is if one person earns significantly more than the other. Where let's say the other person now is the one earning very little or not at all because they're a stay-at-home mom, and now the other person is like, I can't speak to this person about my 200,000 rand income X, Y, and Z, and maybe that's where the challenge is. But we're gonna have to leave it then, Tate Shabalala. I think we definitely will be chatting again soon in the next hour of the show. Master.